I think Springboard Stories has come along at a really exciting time in education. It's not a prescriptive lesson plan of do this, do that, do the other with your class, regardless of how much progress they're making or how interested they are. I think it's got a really lovely stimulus to make your literacy and your whole curriculum really cross-curricular. So through Springboard Stories you can work with the class on just the book and your literacy lessons and develop a topic that way, or you can take it to another level where you can develop a whole topic and the book can just be a small part of it. But I can see how, as a teacher, you've got the opportunity to run with it in whichever way you want to, really, and you can take it in different directions, and you can appeal to the interests of the children. The publications that have been produced so far are on topics that children across the school are interested in. So, as part of my role, I work in every class from reception to Year 6. And the topics are really child-friendly. So you're looking at, Australia, you're looking at space, you're looking at things that children do have a natural interest in, and that are topics that I think teachers know work well in their curriculum, but can sometimes find it quite difficult to know how to make it bigger with their class. The books are work across the school. I think sometimes people think that once you're out of reception, maybe year 1, year 2, definitely out of the infants, that picture books don't work anymore. And it can be further from the truth. You can work with picture books across the whole school. The stories in them are not what I would call patronising children's book stories, but they really appeal to the children on an intelligent level, and they've got a really lovely sense of humour in lots of them. Working with the books, the children have got the opportunity to sort of find their own story too, so you can work on retells, or you can work on different character analyses. There's a depth to them, but they're still fun, and you can work however you want to in different classes, so definitely. I have used the posters. In fact, the day we had snow was not long after I'd had the Christmas Wish booklet come through, and we had really bad snow at school, and for me that's not really bad snow, that's a really exciting opportunity to work with writing and painting and artwork. So we got the poster out and we looked at the story, and the children did some artwork based on the snow, which initially you kind of think white painting, but it really inspired them to kind of create more exciting paintings. Springboard Stories Teacher magazine gives me something that I can use today. I can actually pick it up and I can take some of the ideas straight away without doing with very little input from myself, or I can take it in a bigger mind map, and I can go in any direction I want to. So it's got an element of prescriptiveness if I wanted to have, that I can actually just follow some of those ideas, or I can go big with it. And I think a lot of other teaching magazines have either got too much that's a bit abstract, whereas having the theme gives me something tangible I can work with. I think when you read the magazine, even if you're not doing space the topic, it can give you ideas for your topic of different ways to take your topic, because, for example, we were doing some work on chocolate, so it gives you an inspiration as to where to sort of how to widen a topic, where a lot of teachers, I think, over the last few years have been sort of fed a diet of do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and sometimes they can be struggling with ways to be creative, whereas with the Springboard Stories booklet, you can be creative, but with a real purpose. In my last Year 6 class, I introduced philosophy with the children, and at first I think they found it quite difficult, the idea that there wasn't always going to be this right answer, and that they had to have an opinion, because some children do just want to know what you want it to be the answer. So they're kind of, a lot of the time children are kind of, I think, taught to guess what the teacher wants the answer to be, and often with the way that, with the test-driven curriculum that we've been under, there isn't the opportunity for children to really kind of think about, well, what do I think about this, or what do I think about that? And through working a more philosophical approach, I find it gives children a much greater confidence in themselves, much greater confidence in their own opinions. That I find then translates into your maths curriculum, because suddenly you're getting children to think about, what do you think? How would you solve it? I solve it this way. My brain works in this way, so I'd go this way. How would your brain work? And ironically, it actually had a really big impact on the progress they made in maths and literacy, which is, the measurable ones. And I think Springboard Stories, developing teachers' understanding of getting children to really think about what they think, rather than always telling children what to think, is a fantastic approach that the magazine's got. I think that the teacher's interest and the children's interest has to be quite balanced. Somebody once said to me about phonics teaching is that it's boring, and I said, yeah, it can be boring because it can be repetitive, but the children can never know you're bored. They can never know that it's repetitive and that you're kind of thinking, well, I'm doing this sound again, because they're in a process of learning. And the thing with Springboard Stories is that it's not about, it hasn't got that feeling to it of I have to almost sometimes pretend that I'm interested, because the stories are great. I'm interested, the stories are fabulous. I love reading stories to children. I love reading Springboard Stories to children. I'm not pretending I'm interested. It's a great story. And then they've given me, through the teacher book, the skills and the ideas to take my topic wider and to make it bigger, so that I am interested and can be interested. And I think as a teacher, for me, that outstanding school is a school where teachers are reading off the children as well. So actually, if they're not really excited by something, then that might be because of the way you're delivering it, or because you don't really believe in it, and you have to believe in it to deliver it to the children. So yeah, I think that the books are fantastic to read, but I think the power is the teacher's book that goes with it, which really inspires you and makes you excited to be doing cross-curricular work and developing young people. I think Springboard Stories is really good value for money, as well as receiving a lovely children's book which can work on its own as just a story. The ideas within the magazine develop your pedagogy and your knowledge of teaching in a really wide way, which can then be applied to other topics and to other resources. And I think that at the moment there's nothing else like it on the market. It's a really creative resource that can be used in every year group, and can develop a teacher's understanding of what good, exciting cross-curricular teaching looks like.